I guess I'm one of the lucky ones. I've made it to 82 so far with the help of 2 neurosurgeons, one in Boston and one in New York, and also a neurodiagnostician who first identified my situation, which required that I have a brain implant to deal with it. More and more lately, people have begun to appreciate the serious problems of brain injury. People are talking about that now in football, soccer, and in various other areas. I won't even deal with the problem of brain injury that resulted from the landmines in Afghanistan and Iraq, because those were just awful and caused so much heartache, not to mention death and permanent disablement for many, many military people. It's hard to not have empathy for all of these people and consider my situation to be pure luck. But my brain injury resulted from an automobile accident, just as it happens with many people who have falls and then years later they have brain injury. I mean, not the years later, the symptoms and problems of brain injury occur. One of the things that I read was very interesting about brain injury. It's like when you drop an apple, it looks like a good apple, but somewhere down the road, it sort of has a problem with it because it becomes brown and discolored and so forth. That's kind of like the brain injury. The brain injury that occurred from a fall, that occurred I think it was 2009 by Teresa Heinz Carey, didn't seem to bother her, except that in 2013 she ended up having a seizure, and they were able to trace it back to that brain injury. Again, I'm really one of the lucky ones because I have been able to deal with this better than many other people. But of course, I'm also outspoken, and I feel we need to do something about this issue. I don't think much is going to happen for quite some time in the case of football, just like it took more than 20 years for people to begin to recognize that smoking was killing people. The same thing is true in football. The damage and concussions in football are also an issue, and not much is going to happen because so many hundreds of millions of dollars are involved in money that people are making. I think that it should be given consideration, just like smoking finally got the attention of people, but it took an awfully long time, an awful lot of denial. Maybe we're at the beginning of the process of recognition of the brain injury because of what's going on now with all of the lawsuits in football. Of course, today parents are telling their kids they don't want them to play soccer and they don't want them to play football because they're trying to keep them from ending up in the same place as all of these people who have a serious brain injury and traumatic issues and so forth. Think about that, please. I am active as a member of the Hydrocephalus Association and appreciate that something must be done about this. There are 1.7 million children and adults who have sustained brain injuries that have to be dealt with. And there are a small percentage of them really even know it. Brain research is only at the earliest stages. I hope everybody is going to pay some attention to that. Thank you.